Hello friends, thank you for joining us today for our time of devotion. I'm so happy to be joining with you today from the Carter Center Presidential Rose Garden. And I have never been in this garden when the roses were blooming so profusely. So I'm just going to give you a little tour, quick little tour visually. The birds are chirping. It's a beautiful day in Atlanta. I hope it's a beautiful day where you are. And I'd like to give a little shout out to our new subscribers, Vicki and Brooks Hollifield, my friends from Emory University. Hello to you and to all who are joining us today. May our hearts and spirits be united in God's peace. This rose garden was established in peace for the sake of peace in the world, and so let it be so. Oh, there's a beautiful bird singing. I have just a little portion of a Mary Oliver essay I'd like to share with us today, where she writes about the way she began as a professional writer, and she said that she had to gain knowledge, but she didn't write for the sake of knowledge. And so here's her purpose, all right? This is Mary Oliver's writing, speaking of herself. She said, I would write a kind of elemental poetry that doesn't just avoid indoors, but doesn't even see the doors that lead inward, to laboratories, to textbooks, to knowledge. I would not talk about the wind and the oak tree and the leaf on the oak tree, but on their behalf. I would say that there exist 1,000 unbreakable links between each of us and everything else, and that our dignity and our chances are one. The farthest star and the mud at our feet are a family, and there is no decency in honoring one thing or a few things and then closing the list. The pine tree, the leopard, the river, and ourselves. We are at risk together, or we are on our way to a sustainable world together. We are each other's destiny. For me, the door to the woods is the door to the temple. Mary Oliver. I want to invite you to church this Sunday, where the Reverend Dr. Darris Doyle will be our guest preacher for the day. We're excited to receive him back to the Trinity pulpit, where he served so faithfully for many years as the pastor. And so give him a warm welcome and a good turnout for worship on Sunday. I hope you will. And then on Wednesday, we're excited to welcome back the Reverend Dr. Sam Dzobo, our district associate superintendent, who was with us last year to tell us about his journey from Zimbabwe to Tennessee and the mission work that Holston Conference joins in doing with our wonderful missionaries and caregivers of the children who have been orphaned or who are at risk of poverty in old Mutare, Zimbabwe. So join us Wednesday evening to hear Reverend Sam speak. All right, so we're excited about those opportunities. And Reverend Doyle is going to preach on the lectionary gospel for the Sunday after Easter, about Thomas and the doors that are closed and the gift of our faith and believing. And so I want to share a devotion about that topic. You can come by. It's a public ground.
Sorry.
I will let you share.
Even the
So,
roses.
where are you from?
Ohio originally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Great. Well, good to see you. Okay, this is a little devotion by Mary Lou Kownacki, a minister in Pennsylvania, minister and writer in Pennsylvania, who speaks about the wonders of the resurrection. And the title of her devotion is, It is Finished in Beauty. She said she was typing a sentence to write an article about the brutality of violence involved in warfare and how so many children are at risk of danger and violence and even death from warfare. So she was working on this article, but one of her colleagues and friends interrupted her and said, "Hurry," and grabbed her hand and pulled her out away from her desk. She said they raced to the lot of an abandoned house and stood in the yard, and she describes it this way. She said the yard had just been attacked and overtaken by wild violets. And she said that they stood in silence for several minutes in awe of the victory of beauty. So she goes on to say, it is no mistake that Mary Magdalene first looked on the risen Jesus on resurrection morning, just after sunrise, and saw, of all things, a gardener. Our task is not about death, the empty tomb, or the empty shroud. It is about planting and sowing and caring for hope in whatever garden we find ourselves. It is finished in beauty. And let the congregation sing, Alleluia. So have a wonderful day, and I'll just pan the scenery again. I'm just so thrilled that I was able to come out, and it's not raining today. It's not too hot in Atlanta, and I've never seen the roses bloom so abundantly, prolifically. And I wish I could share the fragrance. It is finished in beauty. Think about sharing the beauty in the midst of all the chaos and horrors of life that seem to surround us these days. Christ is alive, and He is with us, and His beauty calls us to attention, to remember He is the resurrection and the life. Go in peace to love and serve the Lord. May the blessings of God Almighty, Creator, Redeemer, and Sustainer, be with you always.